Cardano ADA to $1,000. ADA Alonzo update. Cardano ADA news today. Cardano has gained an incredible 116% in the last month. Its founder and crypto trailblazer, Charles Hoskinson, announced the highly anticipated Alonzo upgrade would be released in September. After the Alonzo hard fork, Cardano will allow for the execution of smart contracts on its network. Nigel Hemsley, head of delivery for Cardano, stated that the Alonzo upgrade would be launched on September 12th. Today we're going to talk all about the ADA Alonzo update and news related to it. So watch the video till the end, because today's video is going to be the bomb. Welcome to Cardano Land, your daily dose of Cardano. If you're interested in everything around Cardano, this is the place for you. Subscribe if you want to stay updated with all the Cardano news, predictions, and stay one step ahead in the crypto world. Make sure to hit the like button for us to provide you with more Cardano news. Don't forget to enable all notifications to join our weekly cash giveaway pinned in the comments. Before we get to our topic, let's take a look at the chart and see what the price of ADA is doing on the 6th of September, shall we? Cardano price has been coiling up since August 23rd swing high and shows signs of an incoming drop. ADA needs to break through the all-time high to invalidate the bearish thesis. Cardano price decides on a directional bias. Cardano price set up 3 higher highs and 4 higher lows since August 21st. Connecting these swing points using trend lines reveals the formation of a rising wedge. This technical pattern leans bearish, and a breach of the lower trend line forecasts an 18% downswing to $2.29, determined by measuring the distance between the first swing high and low and adding to the breakout point. However, this crash will not be a swift move lower due to the presence of multiple support levels. The dropping prices will encounter the $2.47 demand barrier, breaching which will push Cardano price down to $2.38. While the selling pressure is likely to exhaust here, investors should expect a retest of the $2.29. As long as ADA stays above the lower trend line of the rising wedge, the bulls have nothing to fear. If the upper limit of the technical pattern is breached, it will indicate a resurgence of buyers. However, the bearish thesis will face invalidation only after ADA sets up a new all-time high above $3.11. In such a case, Cardano price might head to $3.37, coinciding with the 161.8% Fibonacci extension level. Now let's get back to the topic. The Cardano Alonzo hard fork will occur on September 12th, as confirmed by IOHK in its August development update. The update proposal for Alonzo will be clipped on September 9th. However, we do not yet know the exact timing or the block number candidate for the hard fork. The hard fork testnet will first launch on September 1st, ahead of the mainnet release a week later. IOHK describes this as a dress rehearsal in which it can identify issues and make any final fixes ahead of the mainnet launch. This will bring an end to a lengthy development period ahead of the Cardano Goguen era, initially slated for release in March 2021. Following the Goguen era, Cardano will target the Basho era, with a focus on scaling. Alonzo went through 3 special testnet stages earlier this year: blue, white, and purple. Alonzo Blue introduced smart contracts with around 50 technical participants, mostly stake pool operators, SPOs. Invalidation errors and other simple fixes were found and tweaked during this phase. These standard bugs are expected to appear and be fixed as Alonzo goes through testing. Alonzo White adds more features and a wider range of participants to Alonzo Blue. The hundreds of new users will be run through a sort of exercise boot camp that will test the capabilities of the network. This experiment is being done by IOG, the main development company behind Cardano, led by former Ethereum co-founder Charles Hoskinson. The company expects this phase to last around 2 to 4 weeks. Alonzo Purple will become a fully public testnet and onboard thousands of participants to the network. This particular stage is split into 2 distinct phases, light purple and dark purple. The first will allow for simple smart contracts, while the latter will allow for more complex smart contracts. Then comes the final Alonzo Red/Alonzo Black color phases, which are reserved for final bug fixes, cleanup, to prepare the final release of the hard fork. Any future tweaks to the hard fork will be very difficult to make past this point, and so it's important that these 2 phases are looked at very carefully. Staging adds quality assurance, as code is frozen and exchanges are prepped for the Cardano hard fork. Alonzo mainnet will officially launch the final code. Hoskinson said the Alonzo release is going to be probably a rather uneventful rollover. Most of the momentum ADA has seen has come from the expected upgrades occurring this month. The team behind the Cardano project announced in August that the final upgrade, which is the Alonzo Purple hard fork, that will bring smart contracts capability to the network, will be released on September 12th. This will put the blockchain on a level where it can compete with Ethereum, the leading smart contracts platform. As users anticipate being able to carry out decentralized finance services and mint NFTs on the network, investors have poured money into ADA, expecting the price to blow up leading to and after the announcement of this final upgrade. Cardano founder Charles Hoskinson has said that the project is on track, and Cardano has received the go-ahead from its shareholders to release Alonzo Purple as scheduled. With less than 2 weeks left to the launch, the price is expected to continue to rally, with the current trajectory putting ADA on a sure path to $4 before the release of smart contracts capability, after which adoption of the network due to its new use cases will drive the price up even further. Cardano's development roadmap is divided into 6 main stages, or eras, each focused on expanding the functionality of the network. Byron sets up the foundation code of Cardano, allows users to exchange the ADA currency, named after revolutionary programmer Ada Lovelace, and mine ADA with their proof-of-stake consensus algorithm. Shelley focuses on decentralizing the network by setting up incentives for users to host their own nodes. The main goal of this era is to make sure the nodes, or individual computers, are run by a diverse group of network participants rather than a small, centralized group of users. Gauguin introduces smart contract capabilities to the network, allowing developers to create decentralized applications on top of Cardano. Basho improves the underlying performance of the Cardano network to be able to process more transactions and scale up. This era also introduces sidechains, which is a means of scaling a network using multiple blockchains. Voltaire adds a voting and treasury system for self-sustaining governance. Users will be able to stake their funds to influence future development on the network. Cardano is now in the final stages of the Shelley era. This development phase added a host of new features to Cardano, such as a proof-of-stake protocol known as Ouroboros, an incentives and delegation scheme that rewards participants, and better hard wallet support. By offering rewards to those who run full nodes, network participants who download the entirety of the Cardano blockchain, Cardano incentivizes network participation and encourages the growth of the Cardano network. Well, that's it for today's video, guys. Also, we would like to mention that this is not a channel intended specifically to provide financial advice, and we do not ask you to invest in any company. This is merely a channel directed towards bringing educational content to your doorsteps. With that in mind, before you invest in anything, we recommend you do thorough, wide-spectrum research on the topic. And make sure to subscribe and give us a thumbs up. See you next time on Cardano Land. Bye!